Did you know that Naresh Kumar Kumawat, the sculptor who is making a 251-meter tall Lord Ram statue in Ayodhya, is now in high demand in Canada? Canada has witnessed a new architectural trend of building towering statues of Hindu gods over the past decade. Deities like Shiva, Hanuman, and Ram are becoming visible landmarks, marking a significant cultural and religious shift in the country's urban landscape. But why now? And why in Canada, which is one of the world's most multicultural societies? The Toronto region in Canada is home to more than 1.2 million South Asians, with Hindus forming a substantial part of that population. As the communities settle, they don't just build homes and businesses, they also seek to preserve their culture. For Hindu communities, this has meant expanding temples and now building monumental statues. But monumental statues are not neutral. Unlike temples that serve as a community center, these massive figures dominate the landscape, transforming private faith into a public statement. Their immense size ensures they are seen by everyone, shifting their purpose from a place of worship for a specific community to a highly visible landmark for the entire city. At the heart of this architectural trend is Naresh Kumar Kumawat, a third-generation sculptor from Rajasthan, India. With more than 600 installations in over 80 countries, Kumawat is renowned for his ability to translate India's spiritual traditions into monumental art. What makes him especially sought after by Canadian temples is more than just his technical skill and authentic religious symbolism. Kumawat's appeal is significantly strengthened by his direct link to Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Ram and site of the historic Ram Janambhoomi temple. He is currently leading the creation of the monumental 251-meter statue of Lord Ram in Ayodhya, a project backed by the Uttar Pradesh government and India's broader nationalist cultural agenda. For Canadian temples, hiring Kumawat is a way to directly connect their local projects to these major sacred projects in India, thereby attaching greater legitimacy and spiritual significance to their own religious spaces abroad. His studio, the Madhuram Art Center, crafts these massive statues in pieces before they are shipped to Canada for on-site assembly. One of Kumawat's most notable works in Canada is the 51-foot Lord Ram statue at the Hindu Heritage Centre in Mississauga, which was inaugurated in 2025 earlier this year. This statue is considered the tallest Lord Ram idol in North America. It was crafted in India and assembled in Canada with a durable steel framework designed to withstand the harsh Canadian weather. The statue is so prominent it can be seen by planes landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport. At the same time, the Hindu Sabha Mandir in Brampton, on the outskirts of Toronto, is preparing to unveil a 55-foot statue of Lord Hanuman, also sculpted by Kumawat. Another major installation is a 54-foot tall Shiva statue in Brampton at the Bhavani Shankar Mandir, also by sculptor Naresh Kumar Kumawat. Funding for these statues in Canada comes almost entirely from private donations and temple management, often supported by wealthy patrons within the community. For example, the 51-foot Lord Ram statue in Mississauga was commissioned by a businessman, while the Vishnu Mandir in Richmond Hill reports its 50-foot Hanuman project cost over 210,000 Canadian dollars, funded by a single family. These projects, particularly in the Greater Toronto Area, are not just religious symbols, but also cultural statements. They are community landmarks that not only create a sense of belonging and continuity with their roots, but also establish a lasting and visible presence in the Canadian landscape. This trend has been met with both support from community members and political leaders celebrating Canada's multiculturalism, as well as some criticism from those who view the statues as an eyesore or a sign of changing demographics. The statues have become a political and social flashpoint in Canada, drawing both strong support and significant backlash. The reactions are a microcosm of broader social and political tensions. While some non-Hindu Canadians view these statues as contributions to multiculturalism, adding cultural depth to suburban landscapes, others are uneasy. They question whether monumental religious figures should dominate skylines, arguing that such visible symbols can feel out of place in neutral public spaces. Some even see them as foreign cultural icons, overtaking urban settings. For others, the surge represents a potential chaos of cultures where competing communities may begin demanding equally grand displays of their own faiths and traditions, ultimately raising concerns about Canada losing its shared identity in the process. On the other hand, the statues have become a target for criticism and even hate. Some of the negative responses are purely aesthetic, with critics calling them an eyesore that is out of place in the urban landscape. Social media posts about the statues have been met with racist comments, with some users stating that the statues are a reason that immigration should be halted. This reflects developments in India, where monumental projects have been encouraged under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. From the Statue of Unity in Gujarat to the Ram Janambhoomi temple in Ayodhya, these projects reinforce devotion, cultural pride, belonging, and patriotic identity. For the Indian diaspora, this resonates strongly, as India demonstrates confidence and strength through cultural symbols. Communities abroad echo that sentiment. The construction of Hindu statues in Canada can be seen as an extension of the same inclination, preserving heritage and strengthening unity through these landmarks. So why the sudden surge? There are many reasons. In a diverse society like Canada, tall statues suggest a visible statement of identity, asserting the presence of Hindu culture. Second and third generation Indo-Canadians seek noticeable links to their roots. Monumental God statues act as a defense for cultural memory and spiritual continuity. Beyond faith, these statues create community spaces for festivals, rituals, and gatherings, promoting pride and engagement within the diaspora. The height and grandeur of these statues connect to permanence and being culturally accepted. They also transform the dynamics of urban space. Unlike in India, where temples often dominate areas with primarily Hindu population, in Canada, these massive structures rise amidst diverse neighborhoods. They become landmarks, reshaping the skyline and marking cultural territory. These statues are symbols of faith, pride, and identity. They connect Ayodhya to Toronto, India's politics to Canada's suburbs, and devotion to cultural declaration. This also makes one wonder if the connection has anything to do with Indian politics. Canada's growing Hindu diaspora clearly want to recreate the cultural and religious environment of their homeland, but there's also a political layer. The global rise of Hindutva symbolism and India's current political climate are influencing how the diaspora asserts its identity abroad. Statues of Ram, Hanuman, or Shiva are not only devotional, they also carry the weight of cultural pride and at times a political statement.